right, listen. So we started early in the month. We were teased, and I think they premiered it at New York Comic Con. We got the Super Mario Brothers trailer.
Wahoo!
Right? We got and I know we normally talk about trailers at the end, but this is the one we decided to talk about as a main topic because I feel like this can lend itself to some good conversation about voiceover and stuff like that. But yeah, so we got the first trailer. Super Mario Brothers movie. Got some Jack Black as Bowser. It was really just like a scene, right?
We hope also. I hope that you listeners have already seen this trailer because you should go watch it right now if you haven't seen it yet. Because we're about to spoil everything about the trailer really quick.
Come on, there's no such thing as spoiling trailers.
That's true. It's a trailer. It's a teaser trailer.
A movie, sure, but come on, a trailer. Go watch it, guys. It doesn't take you that long.
Bro, what are your overall thoughts of this trailer?
All right. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I thought it was fine. I'm not too crazy about it. There's some cool things I like. There's some things that I'm like, all right. Bowser, Jack Black as Bowser, I really enjoyed, and I think he really brings it. You know, he actually commits to the Bowser-ness of it all, and he's got a great voice. And I'm not sure if they modulated his voice and pitched it down a little bit. Or if that was him.
I think that was Jack Black.
Yeah.
I think he just brought it down because he was like, I want it to be tough.
Yeah,
also, he's a singer as well, so his voiceover skills are definitely a lot more... Like, he has more control over his voice when he does these voices.
Sure. Yeah. He sounded great. And I heard people complain like, no, there was a line where he got a little Jack Blacky. I was like, what?
He's
cares? Jack Black. I mean...
Honestly, it worked. It worked.
He's doing just good enough to sound like Bowser and how I would imagine Bowser sound. I don't know. I think those are little nitpicks there.
Dude, honestly, I thought as soon as I heard his voice saying, "Open the gates," I instantly out loud was like, "Whoa!" Like, oh my God, that's really him? That sounds great. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. No, it sounds good. I mean, you're gonna hear, Jack Black he's adjusting his voice, appropriately, but you're gonna hear some Jack Blackiness in there. It wasn't a big deal to me. I really enjoyed it, and those scenes. It was basically like one scene, Jack Black versus like all the penguins.
Oh man, Bowser. The penguins were too good, man.
Yeah.
It felt very Illumination Studios of them to make a joke like that, but the "Do you yield" was like probably one of the best lines of that trailer. I quote it every day. I try, at least. But also, did you know that was oh God, what's his name? Caton Perry? Caton Perrin? The voice actor who plays Cyborg. I'm trying to remember his name. Caton Perry? Is it Caton Perry?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Well, he's also the guy who plays the Tiger Tamer in The Walking Dead, for all you people who don't watch Teen Titans Go or Teen Titans the Animated Series. He's super, super cool voice actor. Good for him for getting one of the best lines in that gosh darn trailer. But also... Cool. No, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, it was, that part was cool. And then, of course, the trailer continues on. And then you finally see Mario show up, make his debut, Chris Pratt, and we're all like, okay, he's been talking up this voice that he's gonna do, and he's like, trust me, you've never heard anything like it. And
what is this place?
And he opens his mouth and is like, it's Chris Pratt. It's just Chris Pratt, maybe kind of doing like a little Jersey, New York thing.
Brooklyn,
what is this place?
New York.
It's pretty much Chris Pratt, and I mean,
but Raul, is it really just Chris Pratt? Because at the end, you remember the line he says at the end where he says, "Mushroom Kingdom, here we come."
Yeah, it's Chris Pratt.
It had a slight accent in there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It wasn't very strong, and it didn't sound like anybody, him or the director or whoever guided him towards this voice. It didn't sound like there was any real commitment to doing anything one way or another. It just kind of sounded like, oh, we don't know what to do. We don't want to sound, we don't want it to be Italian, whoo-hoo, like, okie dokie, let's go, it's me, Mario. Because, and I wonder if that's like too much overthinking about like, well, we don't want to offend anybody. That's just my theory.
Oh, Man,
don't know.
an Italian accent, I feel like even Italian people make Italian accents like a stereotypical funny thing at this point. Like, I don't know why we would get offended about that at this point. But I would say, like, hey, if you guys wanted a really big change from Chris Pratt, could have just gotten Danny DeVito and gotten him to come in and be like, what is this place? You know, hey, what's up?
Hey, I'm Mario.
Hey, paisano, come on.
Here's my brother, Luigi.
And then Luigi's still, I guess, I think they showed us Luigi. He was, what was the guy's name? The actor who plays him?
Charlie Day.
Charlie Day.
Charlie Day's Luigi. And that, I don't know, there was like a quick scene of him running and
just being like, whoa!
Yeah, and that's all. He was just screaming, and it sounded like Charlie Day's scream. So
yeah.
There's not much to go on, and same with Mario. There's not much to go on. Chris Pratt just had a couple lines, but like from those couple lines, you know, the consensus is like, all right, it's just Chris Pratt kind of half-assing an accent. We don't know what he's going for, but. Yeah, it's just one of those things that I'm like, what's going on here? What are we doing here?
Here's the thing. Every time I talk to people about this, they're always like, "No, man, it's bad." But I'm trying to give him a chance. I'm trying to give Chris Pratt a chance because
your optimism, Kevin.
This was a teaser trailer, and we were teased not in a fun way, to be honest. Most teaser trailers should be more fun, you know, but. Yeah. I feel like we got teased in a bad way when it came to Chris Pratt's voice because we literally only get 2 sentences from him. Like that's all we get. So if they expect us to like know instantly what Chris Pratt's gonna sound like for Mario, it's like I feel like they didn't do a good enough job giving us enough of the main character's dialogue. Like they could have.
That's what I'm saying. That's my complaint too. So
yeah. So I think if they. You know, when the next trailer comes out, I hope that Mario will have more sentences to spew out so we can really judge his accent to see what he's trying to do there. Because there is like this 50-50 like point of view of looking at it of like some people are like, oh no, he totally has an accent. Other people are like, no, he has no accent. Maybe he's just Chris Pratt. Maybe he's trying something quote unquote different. We're not going to know for sure until we see the next trailer or the next movie if they don't want to show us the next Mario trailer with him talking.
It just sounded so half-assed, and especially after the hype that Chris Pratt was like giving it, you know, going out on Twitter, like, trust me, this is going to be great. The accent, we're really working on it really, really hard. You know, it's going to be something like you've never heard before in the Mario world or whatever. He's like, we're working really hard on it. And I'm like, did you? Did you work hard on it?
Yeah.
Did you put it? It didn't sound like you put any effort into it.
Also, for all you listeners, you have to excuse us because we're voice actors, and so we tend to be very heated about these types of things when it comes to, you know, celebrities playing characters that were originally voiced by professional voice actors. Charles Martinet is the original voice of Mario, and it's just interesting when they push him to the side to offer it to Chris Pratt. On one side, it makes sense to me business-wise because celebrity status buys tickets. I get that. But on the other side, it kind of makes me look at Nintendo and say, you didn't think your own mascot was good enough to make money? You know, like it could sell. That sells tickets alone. You know, it's Mario. Who doesn't know who Mario is, right?
Yeah, it's just and again, this is it's a conversation that's coming up a lot recently, especially with this and a whole bunch of other things recently that have caused people to talk about this again, is the whole notion of, you know, celebrities, A-list celebrities, on-camera celebrities doing voiceover and actual voice actors who are trained to actually do this kind of stuff. And this debate is starting to resurface again, and people are starting to talk about this whole thing about, like, is this bankable anymore? You know, you say, you know, people are getting A-list celebrities to do these voices in these movies because they bring more money in, but I feel like that's starting to change. I don't know. The impression I've been getting lately is people just don't really care as much anymore.
Well, you know what? It's because every time we see an animated movie now and all they want to do is market it with celebrity names, you end up kind of just thinking it's going to be bad. Like, you know, unless it's Pixar, you usually just assume it's not going to be that great.
Right.
Because you just see like, oh, this is just a money grab so that I could take my kids to go watch this movie. You know, it gives me an excuse, and hey, it's Chris Pratt, let me go help him out. Yeah. However, I will say this, my roommate is not an actor, not a voice actor whatsoever, not into the Hollywood stuff at all. And she watched this trailer and she heard Chris Pratt's voice. And the first thing she said to me was, "Oh my God, is that Chris Pratt? Oh, we should totally go watch this."
Oh, wow, really? Oh.
Yes. And that's when I was like, what? Or should I say, That's what I said in my head, because I was like, man, like, what an eye-opening thing to see that as professional actors, we see this and we criticize it based on the performance quality.
Right.
But when you look at regular audience members, they might end up really liking this, and a lot of people are fans of Chris Pratt, and they're gonna see him and go, "Oh, I'm in. That sounds awesome."
Yeah, I have no doubt that that's still the case. Like, I'm still aware that there's still a group of people out there that you will respond that way when they find out, you know, whatever their favorite celebrities doing voiceover and stuff like that. So it is still something that is effective. From what it seems like, it is still slowly changing. I do feel like more and more people are starting to just care less. But yeah, I don't doubt that there's still a lot of people out there who will respond that way.
I feel like there's certain times in these types of movies where they do bring back the original voice actors, like Peter Cullen for the Transformers movies. Like, they asked him to come back. They got
Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Colleen O'Shaughnessy.
Colleen O'Shaughnessy.
Am I saying that last name right? I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
Or even like freaking what's his face? Jim Cummings coming back as Winnie the Pooh for Mr. Robbins with Ewan McGregor. Like, Ewan McGregor was the big name, but then they just show you
Christopher Robin. Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. Like, maybe they bring a celebrity in, and then they bring along the voice actor that does the iconic voice. Maybe that's what it is.
In those other movies you listed, in those examples, there is, like, because with Sonic, you've got Jim Carrey still, and you've got James Marsden, and then, with the Transformers films and all that stuff, too. Yeah, there's still at least one celebrity in there, but... Yeah, it's just one of those things that it kind of, especially after this trailer, a lot of people started kind of talking about this again, this conversation. And it's what are your overall thoughts on the trailer, though, Kevin? I know you're a little more excited about it than I am.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm at the moment, I'm going to go watch the movie. Like, I know that I like it enough to go watch it. I understand Jack Black is Jack Black, and I get Chris Pratt is Chris Pratt. You know, like, I get that, but I also know one thing is for sure. I'm trying to look past the idea of whether it's going to be a good movie or not, and looking more at the big picture, which is something you and I reported recently or a couple months ago. Nintendo bought an animation studio,
right,
and they're testing the waters to see how this animation stuff goes for them. And if they make a lot of good money from this movie, the next thing they work on, they're going to work on themselves. They're not going to let Illumination work on the next one. They're going to do the next thing and have full control over their project and do whatever they need to do. So if this movie fails, Nintendo might be like, maybe it's time to move on to the next thing, you know?
Yeah.
So that's my overall thoughts on it.